Okay, good evening and welcome everybody. We are going to get things kicked off here. It's just a minute after 6 and got a few more people jumping on, but right now we're sitting at about 47 people logged in, and I know there's over 300 people registered. So we might have several more come on here in just a little bit. Welcome. My name is Jim Ostrowski and I work in the Environmental Support Division here at EGLE. This is our third My Solar for All listening session, and this one is on residential solar, enabling upgrades and storage. Probably some of you might have been on the other listening sessions, and that's great. Welcome back. We're excited to hear from you today. If you have interested in any of the first two ones that we've done, you can go online and check out our YouTube channel because they're both posted right there. Just a couple of housekeeping things for tonight. The lines are muted right now. We're going to do a quick overview presentation. Then we'll start listening from you, and I'll give you instructions on how to unmute yourself and everything when we get to that point to hear your comments. We are also recording this meeting, so you'll be able to watch it or share it with somebody else afterwards, and we'll send the recording link out to everyone who registered once it's available. Also, make sure you check out the chat. Jennifer Acevedo is here with me tonight, and so she's going to be dropping things in the chat as we go through the evening. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Joy Wong, and I'll let her take it over. So go ahead, Joy.
Thank you so much, Jim. Welcome everyone to the third listening session for the My Solar for All program. Today we're going to talk about residential solar, enabling upgrades and storage, as Jim said. My name is Joy Wong. I am the director of the My Solar for All program here with the state of Michigan. Today, I'll overview the federal and state program for those of you who are joining us for the first time. We'll cover program definitions and eligibility, participation benefit amounts, some possible uses and questions that we've received and that we have for you all, and our current program status, as well as future engagement and participation opportunities. If we run out of time before you can speak, please feel free to send us your comments through email. You can email egle-misfa@michigan.gov. Please include the subject line My Solar for All Listening Session 3 comments so that we can make sure to look out for those. And if you have questions after the presentation, please feel free to send them to the email too. So our award is from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Solar for All program. And that program is part of the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, which was created by the Inflation Reduction Act, which was passed by Congress and signed by the President. The U.S. EPA Solar for All program is intended to benefit low-income households to help provide access to affordable, resilient, and clean solar energy. There are a total of 60 Solar for All grant recipients across the U.S. that have committed to fund residential and residential serving community solar projects, to create equitable access to affordable, resilient solar, and to deliver good-paying, high-quality jobs. My Solar for All is a federally funded program that is dependent on these U.S. EPA funds. The program will increase affordable, reliable, and resilient electricity. We hope to reduce costs for an estimated 16,300 low-income households, to provide an average 20% electric bill reduction, whether actual or its equivalent, to participating low-income households through these projects. We estimate that that benefit will come out to be about $400 to $450 per year per household, or about $11,000 to $17,000 over the lifetime of these projects for those households. We will also be supporting improvements that are needed to install solar, such as roof repairs and electrical system upgrades, which can help further reduce the costs to participating households. And we can help improve our household or community energy reliability and resiliency through the associated storage funding that we have available for select projects. And with those investments in storage, they can store the electricity that's generated by the solar for later use, including during electrical outages. Our program also has workforce pipeline and community assistance funding too. So the state of Michigan was awarded $156 million for this program. 75% of that is going to direct financial assistance to implement residential rooftop solar, residential serving community solar projects within our communities, and enabling upgrades and associated storage that can accompany those projects if needed. The remaining 25% will go towards technical assistance to provide assistance to our communities through education outreach and other assistance, workforce training, and to also meet programmatic needs like program and vendor management and monitoring and compliance. So today we're talking about residential rooftop solar. We have a budget of $24.4 million over the program lifetime for that. Enabling upgrades has a budget of $23.4 million, and associated storage has a budget of $7.6 million. The enabling upgrades and associated storage budgets can be applied towards residential rooftop solar projects as well as residential serving community solar projects. Residential rooftop solar for this program is defined to include rooftop, pole-mounted, and ground-mounted photovoltaic systems that deliver all the power generated to residential customers. That can be in existing and new single-family homes, manufactured homes, or multifamily buildings, including those that are classified as commercial buildings if the solar benefits residential customers directly or indirectly. And rented or owned properties can also participate in the program. Enabling upgrades and storage must accompany a MySolar for All solar investment. They have to be deployed with an eligible MySolar for All solar project. For enabling upgrades, they must satisfy the following criteria: that it's an investment in the energy or building infrastructure, and this could be to repair the roof, upgrade the electrical system, or underground electric service drop, perhaps. And it also has to be necessary to deploy or maximize the benefits, whether the financial savings or the resiliency benefits of the solar project. Associated storage is infrastructure to store solar generated power for maximizing solar deployment also. Affordable housing properties are eligible to participate in this program, and they have to be in either two categories to be eligible. One is a multifamily housing where the rents do not exceed 30% of 80% AMI for at least half of the residential units, and where that housing is an active affordability covenant from one of the following housing assistance programs: from the Low Income Housing Tax Credit, housing assistance programs administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, housing assistance programs administered by a tribally designated housing entity, or one administered by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And there's a few that are listed on the screen there. Also, affordable housing properties that are naturally occurring in unsubsidized affordable housing, where the rents do not exceed 30% of 80% AMI for at least half of the residential units, are also eligible. So who is eligible to benefit from this program? Well, low income for this program is defined as income not more than 80% of area median income or 200% of the federal poverty limit for metropolitan areas. And for non-metropolitan areas, there's an additional criteria of 80% of statewide non-metro area AMI. So whatever one of those criteria is higher is the one that applies. Our program has to use the latest publicly available figures from the federal government. And for illustrative purposes only, we have a small example of what that might look like with the 2025 federal poverty limit. So 200% of FPL for a household with 4 people is about $64,000. So how much will the participants receive from participating? As I said earlier, we aim to provide an average 20% electricity bill reduction to participating low-income households. And for residential rooftop participating households, the solar energy produced will most likely reduce their electricity bill directly. And we estimate that it would be about $400 per household per year of a benefit that's provided to them, whether directly through a reduced electric bill or indirectly through other means. And the actual minimum benefit that has to be provided to participating low-income households will likely vary by utility because of their different rates. And that benefit calculation is based on the average residential electric bill. So who's eligible to apply for some of the funding opportunities that we're going to offer? Well, for the residential rooftop, enabling upgrades and storage funding opportunities, eligible entities to apply for them are governmental entities, tribes, nonprofits, municipal and cooperative utilities, educational facilities, as well as eligible property owners. And we do want to note that the eligible entities on this list can have project partners that are not included, such as for-profit developer or contractor. So we're currently in this engagement phase. We're seeking input actively from interested parties to help inform our program design and how we'll be using our funding and the opportunities that we'll provide. So we're in that process of determining what the program will actually look like and what our program offerings will actually be. But we are providing a few ideas of what some possible subawards might look like through this program. So they could be used for a direct reduction of the install costs for these types of projects. Subawards could be given perhaps to offer debt offerings, such as like a loan to low-income participants for these investments. They can be used towards lease-to-own installations, where a third party might install and own the solar upfront, but then allow the residents that are hosting the solar to then own them in the future or have opportunities to own it in the future, as well as power purchase agreements where a third party can install the solar and residents can enter into power purchase or tenant benefit agreement with those entities. We've received a few questions about residential solar through some of our engagements and via email. And one question was like, does the solar have to go on the roof? And no, it does not have to. The solar can be mounted in a variety of ways, including on the roof, but also it can be mounted on the ground or on poles and elevated. Does the solar have to go on the house? And it doesn't have to go on the house. The solar could, as long as that solar delivers all of the power generated to the low-income resident of that property, it can be placed elsewhere on the property. And that could be on like a standalone garage or ground mounted elsewhere on the property. And we have some questions for you that if in your comments today, if you could answer a few of them, that would be great. Or if you want to shoot us an email or respond to some of our online input opportunities, please do. We'd love to understand, for residential solar program offerings through the My Solar for All program, how can we design the offerings to best meet low-income household needs? What low-income household barriers do you want our program to help overcome when we're designing and deploying these program opportunities? What types of projects would you like to see prioritized for selection as we review different proposals? And what types of community engagement, outreach, or education would you like to see offered to help Michiganders make decisions regarding residential solar and whether they want to participate in a program like ours? And who do you trust in your community to help deliver and communicate some of that information about My Solar for All program offerings? And lastly, what types of workforce training activities would you like to see offered pertaining to residential solar and enabling upgrades or storage? And last but not least, how do you think our program can best serve low-income households in your community for residential solar investments? We'd love to hear your thoughts on any or all of these questions, however you wish to share it. I'd like to provide an update on our program. As I noted, we are a federally funded program. We have a grant agreement with the US EPA, and it's a legal contract obligating the program funds to our program. These funds are committed as long as we're in compliance with the program terms and conditions. We're in the process of developing some matchmaking meetings. We heard that there was a need for communities that are interested in developing these projects to be connected to developers and technical assistance providers and others. And so we're in the process of trying to set those up. Please keep an eye out. I think we're going to try to aim for a virtual one and also an in-person one. And the in-person one will be at the My Healthy Climate Conference, which will be held on the 22nd to 23rd in Detroit. Please register if you'd like to join us for our in-person matchmaking session or any of the other exciting sessions at the conference. We have a pilot RFP that we hope to make available in late April, and we have $8.875 million of funding available through that pilot. RFP. So please keep an eye out for that. I want to provide a brief update on the behind the meter solar and storage study that we have. It's a project with the Great Plains Institute and the Georgia Institute of Technology, where they're trying to identify for different types of consumers the behind the meter solar energy bill savings and analyzing when co-locating energy storage makes economic sense and the approximate size of that storage. So the researchers are seeking Michigan-specific building energy use data. They really love to have 1 year of smart meter data where the usage is reported every 15 to 60 minutes. If you're interested in sharing, please contact Rena. Her email is on the screen. We've had a lot of interest from folks. Thank you all so much for those that have already reached out to Rena. But very few people have actually provided smart meter data. And if you're able to provide that and still interested in sharing your data, please reach out to Rena and do share that. We have a March listserv update for the program that hopefully will be released soon, and that will include instructions for how to download this data for 2 utilities as an example. So hopefully that'll help folks who are interested in sharing. And we expect to have some initial results from the study to share in April. So keep connected to hear more about that. We do hope you continue to stay engaged with our Solar for All program. Please join our future listening sessions. We have 2 more upcoming in April and May. Please fill out our interest form if you haven't already. Sign up for our listserv for the program updates and when we're going to have all of those RFPs and meetings developed. Share Michigan-specific building data with the researchers if you're willing and able to. And please submit your input also through some of the surveys that we're developing and requests for information responses. So some of that is coming soon. And we do have 2 surveys that are already online. So please visit our website to get more information on that. And I think the links will also be dropped in the chat. We have focus groups, work groups that are going to be developed. We hope to develop some office hours so that you can come to us with your questions. And of course, visit our website for updates. We're still in the process of updating that and hope that it will have more information in the coming days. And if you're able to and have a project that you're interested in developing in your community, try registering for one of the matchmaking sessions that we're developing so that you can share your project idea and make connections to make it happen. And last but not least, we really hope that you all develop projects and apply for these funding opportunities. So thank you all so much for your time today and for joining us. I'm really looking forward to your comments. And I truly believe that the future is bright here in Michigan. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Joy. Okay, everybody. If you didn't, I'm going to bring my screen back up, by the way. And if you haven't checked out the chat yet, make sure you do, because Jennifer has added a lot of those links in there that we're just talking about. So that might be one thing you want to do. Check out that chat. Let's see here. I'm just making some adjustments to my screen here as we get ready to listen to you and hear your comments. Oops. Oh, I just did something wrong on my screen. Hold on, everybody.
While Jim is doing that, I just want to remind everybody that we are not checking on the questions in the Q&A chat tonight, as this is just a listening session. But if you do have additional questions, please use that eagle-misfa@michigan.gov to send those questions. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So right now what we're gonna do is listen to you and hear your comments for us tonight. If I could, let's have our panelists turn on their cameras and introduce themselves. So you already know Joy. And Haley, are you there? Can you put your camera on?
I can see you, Haley.
I don't think lost Haley or not.
We
Just
can
gotta
see
unmute
her.
yourself. Yeah,
We
you might
see
just have to unmute her line there.
Jim, I'm here.
Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
Mhm.
Hi everyone. My name's Haley Neuenfeld. I'm with the Office of Climate and Energy, the federal funding team, and supporting Joy with the Solar for All work. I'm really excited to hear all your feedback tonight. And thanks for coming.
Okay, great. So yeah, we're going to be listening to you tonight. Just a couple guidelines for how we're going to do this is that if you want to make a comment to us tonight, if you would please click the raise hand icon on your Zoom toolbar. That'll let us know that you want to speak. And we're going to take comments in the order in which your hand is raised, and we'll do our best to do that. If you would please keep an eye on the chat, because Jennifer is going to be putting in the chat who's on deck. So I'll try to make sure I announce who's up next after I call the first person, but just keep an eye on that chat because it'll let you know where you're at in the lineup. Also, when we do call your name, we will allow you to unmute your mic. And so you'll see a box pop up in your screen and it'll ask you if you want to unmute your mic, and you just hit yes or okay, and that'll allow you to start talking to us. Each person is going to have a maximum of 3 minutes to make your comment, and you will see a little icon up on your screen that will pop up and show the timer, and it'll count down from 3 minutes. When you're about 1 minute, just to help you out, in case you're not paying attention to that, I will have my bell to come on. Sounds like that. That's what's going to happen when you have 1 minute left. So when you have that 1 minute left, you're going to hear that bell, and that just means you'll probably want to get close to wrapping things up. We just want to make sure we have time for everyone tonight, and 1 comment per person as well. I think that's all I have. If you want to make additional comments, you have more to say after you're done, great. But just email them to us. The email address is on your screen, and Jennifer's also put that in the chat. All right, so I think I covered everything. So let's get things started here, and I'm gonna bring up my timer so it's ready to go. Our first person that wanted to speak is Janice Hazel, and after that is Jill Iyer. So Janice, I'm going to let you unmute yourself, and you can start your comments whenever. And if you would too, make sure you repeat your name, because I'll probably screw up some of your names, and I'm sorry about that. And if you're with any organizations, please let us know. Thank you. Go ahead, Janice.
Okay, good evening. I'm Janice Hazel, and I serve as the Volunteer Detroit Community Representative for the DTE Energy Low Income Solar Council. Thank you for this opportunity to share our input into the My Solar for All program. The Low Income Solar Council serves the communities of Detroit, Highland Park, and River Rouge as part of the My Green Power Community Impact Pilot. The My Green Power Community Impact Pilot is a result of the Michigan Public Service Commission's settlement agreement in case numbers U-20713 and U-20851. This pilot is designed to bring community solar projects to 3 underserved communities within DTE's service territory. Its core mission is to ensure that income-qualified customers and communities can fully participate in the benefits of renewable energy. Specifically, residents at or below 200% of the federal poverty level living in Detroit, Highland Park, or River Rouge will be eligible to subscribe to 100% renewable energy for their homes. Participants will also receive a monthly bill credit estimated at $35 over the 25-year lease, even if they move, rent, or buy a home, but remain in the 3 cities mentioned. This will provide much needed financial relief while advancing clean energy equity. Additionally, 2 of these projects will integrate energy efficiency measures to maximize savings for selected residents. However, to fully realize these benefits, sufficient funding is essential. We strongly urge Solar for All grant dollars to be allocated to the 3 project pilots. Providing financial support for these projects will ensure their successful development and implementation, allowing income-qualified residents to experience tangible benefits from community solar. Our communities have long faced environmental and economic hardships. We know that access to renewable energy and energy affordability go hand in hand. The Solar for All program presents a transformative opportunity to advance environmental justice and economic resilience by prioritizing investments in the My Green Power Community Impact Pilot. As EGLE considers the design of My Solar for All, we recommend the following prioritization criteria. Number one, targeted support for underserved communities, direct funding to community-led and income-qualified solar initiatives like the My Green Power pilot, which focuses on high-needs areas. Number two, maximizing affordability. Number three, scalability and sustainability. Invest in projects with long-term viability, incorporating energy efficiency measures to increase savings and program effectiveness. And number four, community-led decision-making. By prioritizing these elements, Solar for All can create lasting positive impacts in communities like Detroit, Highland Park, and River Rouge. We appreciate the opportunity to provide our comments. Again, I'm Janice Hazel, and I am in Detroit, a member of the Low Income Solar Council. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. All right. I gotta change my timer when it goes off. I shouldn't be doing that. I apologize. Thank you, Janice, for your comment tonight. All right, let's see here. Next person up is Jill Iyer, and then after Jill, we got Brett. So let's see here. Jill, there you go. You should be able to unmute your line and get started with us. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I recently purchased solar for my home, actually. It was a two-step process. I paid 0.5% last year, 2024, and I did get my 30% credit for 2024 on my income tax. And so in 2025, I'll be paying my other percent. But I'm concerned with the current legislation. Is that going to carry forward? Do you have any comments or thoughts? It was a hefty purchase for me for my home, and I'm just wondering. I just lost my shirt,
Yeah, Jill, we're not taking comments tonight. We're just hearing from you all, but there is some opportunities. If you do have questions, you can email us at the email address on the screen there. Also, we're going to be doing possibly some office hours in the future, so you can keep an eye on that as well. So, do you have any other comments for us tonight?
I just I'm also on the city council locally here, and it's very hard to find sites that might our limited capacity here in land to do any solar things. We are trying to work with a new possible developer on the building downtown, but I'm just wondering what the possibilities are.
All right. Well, thanks for your comment. And like I said, if you look at the chat for this meeting, there is just a reminder for everyone. There is a link that you could sign up to get updates from us. It's the subscribe to My Solar for All program updates, and that'll keep you up to date on new things that are happening, as well as other opportunities to talk to the staff about things, as well as there's an email in there you can send us your questions to. So thanks for your question on that. So next person up is Brett Little. I did fail to mention we do have a couple people on the phone listening in. So if you're on the phone and you want to make a comment, you could hit #2 on your phone. Hit #2, and that'll let us know you want to make a comment. All right, Brett, go ahead. You're up.
Hey, everybody. I'm Brett Little, Education Manager here at the Green Home Institute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Thanks for putting this on. Just a kind of quick, kind of want to really double down on the idea of leveraging solar for all within existing programs that are working and serving income restricted residents. So, specifically the Homes Inflation Reduction Act rebates that are coming out, hopefully, on April 14th. I hope that date is held to statewide. And so incorporating solar into those, and then also our friends at the Weatherization Action Agency, which is a longtime program, helping weatherize homes. In both cases, especially the Weatherization Action Agency, these homes, oftentimes have deferrals, so they have a leaking roof or other issues that prevent them from doing energy efficiency. So if your program can fund that, that's a win-win, and would allow people to get solar and energy efficiency all in one. And they're already going to have professionals helping them doing evaluations and making sure that the solar is done correctly and everything. So I would just again double down on the incorporation of this into existing programs in the state, specifically weatherization and IRA rebates, and others as well. So thank you.
All right, thanks for your comment, Brett. Okay, I'm looking at my roster of people signed up and or that are in here today, and I don't see any other hands up. So if you want to make a comment, that's what we're here to do, is to listen. We'll give it a second here to see if anybody raises their hand. Okay, I do have a person here with a hand raised. So Glenn, you have raised your hand. You should be able to unmute yourself and talk to us. Thanks.
All right, I'm here.
Yes.
Can this, I just missed the front end of this meeting. Are you going to post the recording of this event on the website somewhere?
Yes, Glenn. So right now we're just hearing from attendees that want to make a comment. That's what we're here for today. But yes, we did mention in the beginning, and also Jennifer will post again in the chat for those that might have come in a little bit late, that we will be sending a recording link out to everyone who attended. We'll also send a copy of the slides out to everyone who registered.
All right,
do you have any comments for us?
No, I just, it was on my calendar, it just slipped off, and I'm just in the dark here, so.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. Okay, is there anyone else who would like to make a comment tonight? Okay, Brett, I see your hand is up, but I think you already commented. Do you have someone else there with you that would like to make a comment? If you do, you can have them on. Otherwise, maybe just left your hand raised and we
Can you hear me?
down. Yeah.
Well, I just thought if no one else has anything to say, I had one more. I know you said keep it to one, but I just had one more, but up to you if I'm allowed to do that.
I'll allow it this time since there's no one else that has a hand
Okay,
raised.
it'll be
go
short.
Ahead, Brett. All right, thank you.
I just wanted to say, my understanding with the community solar rollout is that is not allowed in the investor-owned territory due to laws or that lack thereof of laws to allow for community solar. So I guess I would just like to see if you can all negotiate with the investor-owned utilities and overcome that. So just, want to put that out there and encourage that. So thank you.
All right. Thanks for your addition. And like I said, if some of you don't feel comfortable speaking up tonight, that is fine. Or if you have additional things that you wanted to say, you can just email us. And the emails are just as good as being here and voicing your comment. Should probably turn my timer off. Okay, does anybody else have anything you'd like to make a comment on? If not, that's fine. All right, Brady has got a comment, so go ahead. Brady, you should be able to talk to us. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Brady Watson. I work at the Union of Concerned Scientists. I figured I'd get in since, other folks haven't spoken up yet. But I was just going to reiterate some of the things that we and our partners at the Empower Michigan organization have made in the past. specifically around program design. It's our recommendation that EGLE distribute the Solar for All funds directly to community-based organizations when possible. Ideally, things like cooperatives and LLCs that have democratic decision-making structures implemented, and with guidelines that are developed jointly with community stakeholders around the state to plan and build out community-owned community solar projects in Michigan. And as other folks have mentioned, and many times in the past, utility-owned low-income solar projects have not always achieved the promised financial and other benefits to communities in Michigan. And so that's why we recommended some of the ownership models that are determined by communities and what works best for them. So again, we've shared this in writing, but just to reiterate, we believe that models like energy cooperatives that have democratic decision-making structures in place, and also LLCs, can be good models for ensuring maximized community benefits for low-income residents. We also see that on-bill crediting for customers can be helpful in making sure that folks get the fair share for electricity they're generating from solar installations. And again, just sort of reiterating the emphasis on community ownership of solar assets, like community solar installations, which can maximize those benefits to local communities, which we're trying to help here with this program. There are some barriers that we're seeing, but some of those are policy barriers that I know can't necessarily be addressed by EGLE, such as, you know, having community solar legislation at the state level, and also doing utility bill crediting, like virtual net metering. But you know, as we continue to push for those policies to be implemented to maximize the benefits from these programs, you know, love to see that. And also just a note that sometimes certain established ways of identifying target customers or determining eligibility is not inclusive to certain low-income groups, specifically like undocumented immigrants. And looks like my time is up, but last thing I'll say is that also want to encourage the installation and use of storage to maximize the benefits of solar energy as well. So thanks for your time.
All right, thanks, Brady. Oh, we got a hand up, Suzanne. Suzanne, I'm unmuting your line, and you should be able to unmute on your end.
This is Suzanne.
Okay,
Here
well,
about my computer. So my name is David Camps. I used to run Blue Terra Energy up here in the UP, and we've done some of this work with the Superior Watershed Partnership in the past. And some of the issues we ran into was the client not being able to upgrade because they only installed a grid-tied inverter. So that sort of hog-tied them from any kind of upgrades in the future for their system. So I'd like to see equipment selected that allows for them to upgrade, whether it's on their own dime, if they want to add storage or a car charger or whatever. If they want to grow their system, they can. And the other thing is, when the Energy Task Force up here in the UP was talking about propane, we were discussing electrification a lot, and we also did energy efficiency. And when you go up to a house, some houses their roofs may or may not qualify. It may not be worth an investment at all in this building. So it would be nice to have a project manager or a consultant that can go by these homes and see if they're worthy of the investment and estimate the cost that it would take to make them ready for solar investment. And I don't know, it just seems more of a holistic view that we can do energy efficiency and work towards electrification and get these homes in a better condition than they are, especially here in the UP where it's all rural. So I'm going to get caught up. I missed the two first listening sessions. I'm going to go back and look for these other ones and get caught up on this program because I'm thinking I may jump back into this. It sounds like a pretty exciting program. Thank you.
great. Thank you for your comment tonight. Glad you could be on. And just a reminder that, you know, if you're more interested in more of this, you can sign up for our, it's like a listserv, an email list that you'll get emails from us for more information. It's in the chat. Just click on that link. Okay, team. Well, I'm not seeing anyone else who wanted to make a comment tonight verbally, but again, just a reminder, if you want to make a comment another way, you can email us at any time. We'd happy to hear from you. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Joy, and Joy, you can bring your screen back up again and finish up your last couple slides there.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight and for sharing your thoughts with us. As Jim said, if you have any other thoughts you'd like to share, please feel free to email them to us. We hope that you continue to stay engaged with our program. Please join our future listening sessions. We have one coming up on residential surveying community solar, which is the other aspect of our program, and the enabling upgrades and storage that can accompany those investments. And our last listening session will be focused on the geographic distribution and equitable deployment and prioritization in our program design and project selection. Please fill out our interest form if you haven't already. Sign up for our listserv to get email updates on our program and those upcoming events, like any meetings that we will be scheduling, some of those opportunities in terms of matchmaking meetings that we shared, as well as our upcoming pilot RFP, where we have a batch of funding that will be available for projects this year. If you're willing to share Michigan-specific data for our behind the meter study researchers, please email Rena. Her email is on the screen. We have some surveys that we've already developed and more to come, as well as a request for information that we hope to be able to post soon. Please go online and check those out. We have the pilot survey and a community solar survey that are already available. We hope to have future focus work groups, as well as office hours to help answer any additional questions you might have about the program. Please check out our website for some information. We are in the process of updating it, so we hope that we'll have more information there to come. And as I mentioned, we'd love it if you could join one of our Solar for All matchmaking sessions. If you have project ideas for your community and you'd love to connect with a developer or a technical assistance provider that could help you make it happen. And last but not least, develop those projects and apply for our funding opportunities. So thank you all so much for your time tonight. We really believe the future is bright here in Michigan. We hope to see you at future listening sessions and to hear from you. Thank you.